Hiya, good morning guys. How are you? Everybody okay? Right, one sec. Sorry, just getting myself sorted out. I am here. Hello guys. Hello, I am here. I'm just getting something. Just getting out my usual box of goodies, something I'd missed. Hello, how are you? Everyone okay? I got my cup of tea. Am I allowed to go make a cup of tea, people? Good morning, good morning. I haven't got a cup of tea, guys, and I'm feeling a bit lost. It's like my lucky charm. Can I just quickly, I have boiled the kettle. Good morning. Hello, I am here. Hello guys, sorry. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. Sorry, I have boiled the kettle already. I'm sure I did. Yeah, I did. I can't do my live without a cup of tea. Thank you. Honestly, so professional. I'm afraid it's life, guys. Right, nearly there. Hello, how are you? Very sorry for anyone tuning in. Least professional person on Instagram ever. Just making myself a cup of tea. I forgot. Hopefully, hello, I am here. Hopefully you know me by now that it's like my lucky charm. I can't do a live without a cup of tea or something in my hand, can I? That would just be weird. So I hope you have one. Sorry about that for a late start, isn't it? The kettle had boiled. I've just been so busy setting up that I'd forgotten to make myself a cup of tea. So cheers. I am gasping this morning. It's always mad dash getting Mason into preschool and then getting back, and I couldn't find all the stuff that I wanted. Anyway, let's crack on. I hope you're okay, guys, while I got this down. Talk amongst yourselves. Ones and twos Wednesday today. Good morning. So ones and twos Wednesday. I must confess, despite having over 20 odd, am I up to 25 packs of play prompts now? 25 packs of play prompts in the range. And doing activities all day, every day. Some days I just get a bit stuck and a bit lost for inspiration, and I just couldn't think what I fancied doing this morning. So, what I always do, you may have heard me talk about this before. This is my first ever live. I've been following you for ages now. Finally caught a live. Lovely. Well, welcome. I recognise your name, Han Ross. I think we must have chatted. Yes, welcome. Really nice to have you. It's very relaxed, very positive and supportive. And if you've just tuned in, you've missed me making a cup of tea because I forgot one. So it is compulsory that everyone has a drink in hand because I drink so much of it. I actually don't. Lots of people ask me how many cups of tea I drink. I actually don't. I probably drink about 3. I drink one first thing when I get up in the morning. I drink my 10 o'clock one, and then maybe one just after lunch, and then that's it. So it's not loads. Anyway, I digress. I don't seem to be able to concentrate today. I'm all over the place. I've got a lot going on in my head. Right, so I was lacking inspiration of thinking, what should I do today? I always have lots of ideas, but then struggling to think of anything. Someone's just got a farm foods leaflet. Brilliant, Katie. Are you using it today? You'll have to let me know. So whenever I get stuck for inspiration, number one, of course, you can go and flick through your packs of play prompts cards to give you some idea. For me, what I do whenever I'm stuck lacking inspiration is I grab a book. That is always my starting point. If you're ever stuck, tired, can't think of anything, go and grab a storybook. Read it with your little one because you never know what's going to come out from it. Honestly, it could even just be a recipe book or the Screwfix catalogue. It could be anything that you could read together. But more often than not, picking up a child's book can really inspire you. And it's amazing, once you start reading it together, it's amazing what they might pick out and start talking about and asking about. Or maybe, if you're like me, you'll be reading a story and you go off on a tangent and, oh, I remember this one time when Mummy did this. And you may then elaborate on the story, whatever. Stories are just such a great starting point for children and play, and can really inspire activities. So if you're ever stuck for something to do, grab your play prompts, but also go and grab a storybook, curl up with your little one, read the story, and see if there's something, good morning, see if there's something that just comes up out of the story that you fancy exploring with them. And sometimes they suggest it, don't they? Should we do that, Mummy? Should we ever go at that? Mason's quite good at doing that. Oh, I want to make one of those. He's doing a lot of that at the minute. If he sees something on TV or sees it in a book, I want to make one of those. And he's really into his Lego, so he'll then go and try and copy it and make it in Lego. But you can do all sorts of activities. So this morning, I've picked up a couple of these actually, and it's only because I was sorting through Mason's books yesterday and I thought, oh, these are such lovely books and we haven't done them for ages. And then it's like a little collection that I've got. So I grabbed these books, having a little look through, and I've put together a little activity. Not actually done it with Mason, haven't actually read this with Mason this morning, just too busy trying to get out the door. But I will do later, and I'll probably read them before we then actually do this activity. So this activity is linked to growing and planting seeds, which lots of us might be doing at this time of year anyway. I say us, I'm not massive into gardening and growing things, but it is a lovely thing to do with children, so I force myself. But it is this sort of time of year that people are starting to plant in and doing things like that. If you are a keen gardener, your little one may enjoy watching you and seeing what you're doing in the garden and may want to copy. So this is a really nice activity for them, a nice young activity. And I'm going to show you how you can adapt it for the different ages. Before we go on to that, I'm just going to show a couple of the books that inspired this morning's activity. Sorry, they're always backwards. I don't know why they broadcast the lives backwards. The Tiny Seed by Eric Carle is a really lovely book. And the pictures are all fascinating, really inspiring, absolutely gorgeous, and they're really nice. The Tiny Seed is a nice one, all to do with growing, and the same Titch by Pat Hutchins is a really nice book as well, about growing, I think it's a sunflower, or is it just a seed? Is it just a seed? It's just a seed. I always think it's a sunflower, but it's just a seed. Really nice one. And then a couple more that you can maybe do this one if you're going to interpret it with vegetables rather than flowers or plants. Oliver's Vegetables, really love that story, about having an allotment. You can do some really nice activities with that. And Eating the Alphabet, I also really like this one. Lots of chat about all the different vegetables, all the different colours. Amazing, really, really nice, and can really lead on to lots of lovely conversations and lots of play opportunities. So going with something like one of the growing books, all I've done, now as you know, I have boxes of stuff. I have boxes of stuff for everything. This is like my spring growing. I have all sorts in there, animals and planting and things. But it was just last week I was in Home Bargains. I do already have a few fake flowers, but I was in Home Bargains, and because it's wedding season, you can pick up some very cute little bouquets for pretty cheap. Can't remember how much, but you can get some lovely fake flowers. Of course, you don't have to use these. Another alternative, if you were going to do one of those books, would be it'd be nice to do some vegetables as well, and you could do some planting some vegetables. But it's just because I so happened to pick up these last week that I fancy using them. And I whenever I set up my activities for you on the lives, I also then leave them out for Mason to play with. So even though it's 1s and 2s Wednesdays and he's 4, there's no reason why he can't still join in. So I've got a few flake flowers, and I got another bunch the other day in Home Bargains. Quite a lot of them have them out at the moment because of the time of year and wedding season. So all I'm doing is looking down. I'm just going to fill a tray. This is a garland tray. Lots of people ask me, a little bit smaller than a Tuff Spot, but really, really handy to have. More for doing more of the tabletop activities. Your little one can still get into this one, but it's got a nice deep lip, so it's not going to lose everything. Now then, some alternatives now is what you want to put in here. I've got these chickpeas and black beans. Just a word of warning, black beans are very expensive. I once treated myself to buy some of these for sensory activities. However, you could always get beans and dye them black if you're really keen on having black ones. But chickpeas, they just make a really lovely sensory experience, lovely to pour and feel and dig your hands in. If you've got a little one that's still eating and tasting things, maybe you could use some sort of cereal, like chocolate puffs or rice puffs, you know, those sorts of things. Anything that's lurking at the back of your pantry, any of the dregs of your cereal boxes, get those out, rice, pasta, anything like that. You just want something that pours quite nicely and feels really nice. It's all the sensors, it's alerting the sensors, which is fabulous for making connections in those little brains, which is all part of their learning. So I'm pouring in a box of these. It doesn't need to fill it, doesn't need to fill the box, just a few. If I show you. So it doesn't completely fill it, it's not a deep tray, it's not like a deep covering, it's just enough, more than enough that I've got in there. And then all I'm adding in are, I've got a set of 3 buckets here. I bought these donks ago from a florist, a small, a medium and large. I highly recommend, if you're using and playing with little ones, of having some sort of small, medium and large. If you don't, please don't panic. Because you know, I hope you know now, please don't go out and feel like you have to, right, Claire says I've got to buy black beans, which are ridiculously expensive, and I've got to go buy 3 plant pots in small, medium, large. Well, actually, that's not true, because I'm using these, but do you have a set of stacking cups that you use with your little one when they were a baby? Maybe you do, maybe you're nodding, maybe that's something that you have already. Well, if you get those, they are brilliant. And the reason why I always recommend those stacking cups is because you will use them for loads of different activities, not just while they're a baby. Go and get out the large, the middle one and the smallest, and that works just as well without needing to go and buy any more equipment. So they're really handy. And just the same, small, medium, large plastic cups, bowls, anything like that would all work. So it's just about having a look at what you've got already. Don't interpret that I'm telling you to go and buy things, because I'm certainly not. So a small and medium and large containers are really nice. Nice to always start with a small and a large, which have a bigger difference. But having the medium as well is just, the reason why I use these is it's the language. It's the language, the mathematical learning that's going to come out of it. And I know you're saying, oh, it's 1s and 2s Wednesdays, I'm going to be doing this one with my little one. You are, but it's just about introducing it to them. There's no reason why you can't start using the word medium to your 1-year-old. You know, use that wonderful language, because they will be picking it up later on and they'll start to use it when they're ready to start talking. So introduce the language from a young age, small, medium, large, and then you can talk about as they're filling them up. So I'm just popping the trays down. It's really tricky, you can't really see me today, can you? If you're on Facebook, I think if you swipe to the left, you can move the comments, if that helps move them out of the way. So I've got the small, medium and large in there. And then I've just got, if you've got any gardening tools or kids gardening tools that are safe, obviously, really nice to use, particularly if they've watched you working out in the garden as well. Don't worry if not. Again, don't go buy in a gardening set. Spoons or something like that, some old utensils that you've got in the cupboard. Have you got a nice big ladle? Have you got a nice little teaspoon? Try and get a few different sizes. I've just picked up these, but spoons will work just as well. And if your child is younger, it's more than likely they're going to be using handfuls rather than a spoon, which is absolutely fine. All about strengthening those hand muscles, getting them to really open up their hand and taking big grabs. And of course the feeling on the hands is lovely, so it's always nice to get children to use their hands and not always rely on tools. But by having the 3 sizes and encouraging them to fill and empty them, is that we're going to be talking about quantity, we're going to be making guesses and predictions. Oh no, it's overflow,